The River Nile, a lifeline of ancient and modern civilizations, is celebrated not only for its breathtaking length, but also for its profound impact on human history and the environment. Spanning approximately 6,650 kilometers, it is the longest river in the world, flowing northwards through 11 countries and creating a fertile delta in Egypt. This mighty river has shaped the cultural, economic, and ecological landscapes of its basin. From its crucial role in sustaining ancient Egyptian agriculture to its ongoing significance in contemporary Egypt, the Nile has been central to life along its banks for millennia. This video explores 10 fascinating facts about the Nile, highlighting its historical importance, its dual tributaries, the significance of its annual floods, and the modern challenges of managing this vital resource. Each fact provides a unique glimpse into the enduring legacy of one of the world's greatest rivers. Here are top 10 facts about the River Nile. Number 1. The longest river in the world. The River Nile is renowned for being the longest river in the world, stretching approximately 6,650 kilometers, 4,130 miles, from its primary source in East Africa to its delta in the Mediterranean Sea. Its length surpasses that of the Amazon River, traditionally considered the second longest. The Nile flows northwards through 11 countries, including Uganda, Sudan, and Egypt, shaping the lives of millions along its path. The river's grandeur is not just in its length, but also in its historical and cultural significance. Ancient Egyptian civilization, one of the cradles of human history, flourished along the Nile, relying on its annual floods to sustain agriculture and trade. Despite the Amazon River's recent claims to the longest title due to new measurements, the Nile's historical importance remains unmatched. Number 2. Two main tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. The Nile is fed by two major tributaries, the White Nile and the Blue Nile. The White Nile is the longer of the two, originating from Lake Victoria in East Africa, while the Blue Nile begins at Lake Tana in the Ethiopian highlands. These tributaries converge near the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, to form the Nile proper. The White Nile is known for its consistent flow throughout the year, whereas the Blue Nile contributes the majority of the river's water during the rainy season. The interplay between these two tributaries creates the seasonal flooding that historically benefited agriculture in Egypt. This dual source system not only sustains the river's flow, but also influences its seasonal variations and ecological dynamics. Number 3. The Nile's annual floods. The Nile's annual floods were crucial to the agricultural success of ancient Egypt. Before the construction of modern dams, the river's annual inundation deposited nutrient-rich silt across the floodplain, making the soil fertile for farming. This natural irrigation cycle, occurring between June and September, allowed Egyptians to grow crops such as wheat and barley. The flooding was a predictable event, and Egyptians developed advanced knowledge to manage it, including the construction of irrigation systems. The advent of the Aswan High Dam in the 1960s, however, has largely mitigated the natural flooding cycle, providing controlled water release and reducing the river's seasonal variability. Number 4. The Nile Delta, a vital ecosystem. The Nile Delta, where the river spreads out and drains into the Mediterranean Sea, is one of the world's most fertile and densely populated regions, covering an area of about 240,000 square kilometers, 93,000 square miles. The delta has been a crucial agricultural hub for millennia. It is characterized by its fan-shaped terrain and is home to numerous wetlands, lagoons, and a diverse range of flora and fauna. The delta supports a wide variety of bird species, fish, and plant life, making it an essential ecological zone. Additionally, the delta is a critical area for human settlements, including Egypt's capital, Cairo, which is located near its apex. The health of this delta is crucial for maintaining both biodiversity and agricultural productivity in the region. Number 5. The Nile's historical significance. The River Nile has been a lifeline for civilizations throughout history, especially ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians revered the Nile, considering it a divine gift from the gods. It was central to their religious practices, economic life, and daily existence. The river facilitated trade and transportation, connecting Egypt with other parts of Africa and the Near East. Major historical sites, including the Great Pyramids of Giza and the temples of Luxor, were strategically located along the Nile to capitalize on its resources and transport networks. The river's role in the development of Egyptian society cannot be overstated, as it provided not only sustenance, but also a means of cultural and economic exchange. Number 6. The Aswan High Dam. Constructed between 1960 and 1970, the Aswan High Dam is one of the most significant engineering projects on the Nile. Located near Aswan, Egypt, the dam was built to control the river's annual flooding, generate hydroelectric power, and provide water for agriculture. The creation of Lake Nasser, a massive reservoir behind the dam, has transformed the river's flow and significantly altered the surrounding environment. While the dam has brought numerous benefits, including increased agricultural production and improved energy infrastructure, it has also led to challenges such as the displacement of communities and impacts on local ecosystems. The dam's construction was a monumental achievement, but remains a complex symbol of modernity and its impacts on traditional ways of life. Number 7. The river's ancient monuments. Along the banks of the Nile, numerous ancient monuments and archaeological sites reflect the river's historical importance. The temples of Karnak and Luxor, the Valley of the Kings, and the temples of Abu Simbel are just a few examples of the rich heritage tied to the Nile. These sites were constructed by pharaohs and their subjects, utilizing the river for transporting materials and people. The monuments offer invaluable insights into ancient Egyptian culture, religion, and governance. The preservation and study of these sites continue to attract scholars and tourists, highlighting the Nile's role as a cradle of civilization and a source of profound historical and cultural legacy. Number 8. The Nile's diverse ecosystem. The Nile supports a diverse range of ecosystems due to its extensive length and varying climatic zones. In its upper reaches, the river flows through tropical rainforests and savannas, while in its lower stretches, it moves through arid desert landscapes. This diversity supports various species of fish, birds, and mammals. Notable species include the Nile crocodile, which inhabits the river and its delta, and various migratory birds that rely on the river's wetlands. Additionally, the river is vital for numerous fish species that sustain local fisheries. The Nile's ecosystem is not only crucial for biodiversity, but also for the livelihoods of many communities that depend on its resources for food and income. Number 9. The Nile's role in modern-day Egypt. In contemporary times, the Nile remains central to Egypt's economy and daily life. It continues to be a critical source of water for drinking, agriculture, and industry. Modern irrigation techniques and water management practices have evolved to make the most of the river's resources, especially in the face of growing population pressures and climate change. The Nile also remains a major transportation route, with ferries and cargo ships navigating its waters. Additionally, the river's scenic beauty and historical significance continue to attract tourists from around the world, contributing to Egypt's economy. Efforts are ongoing to balance the needs of a growing population with the preservation of the river's health and its ecological systems. Number 10. International disputes and cooperation. The Nile Basin is shared by 11 countries, leading to various political and economic challenges regarding water rights and usage. Countries like Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia have been at the center of negotiations over the allocation of the river's waters, especially with the construction of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD. While Egypt and Sudan have expressed concerns about the potential impacts on their water supplies, Ethiopia views the dam as a crucial development project for its economic growth. International cooperation and diplomatic efforts are ongoing to manage the river's resources equitably, reflecting the complex interplay between national interests and shared environmental stewardship. The Nile's management is a testament to the importance of collaborative approaches to transboundary water resources. Thank you for walking with us through the incredible journey of the Nile.